What's up, guys? I'm just doing this because I'm trying to improve my English, so the content is going to be in English, and I'm doing this because I'm trying to improve my current programming skills. So I am a backend developer. I work with development for about a year and a half. In the IT area, I am for like 3 years, I think, and I'm trying to uh, study new things. So the first thing that I'm going to do is learn how to use NeoVim because I'm trying to get out of the VS Code, and I'm doing this because I'm trying to understand how the things work. So I know how to code, at least the very basic, but I want to know why the things are the way they are. So what I'm going to do is learn Neovim, and after that, I'm going to build a project that is going to be a I don't know the correct word. It's like a VS Code. It's an interpreter. So it's going to be in C, I think. And I'm just doing this because I want to know how I'm speaking and what I need to improve. So this is going to be a series that I post every day, and that's it. Let's start. I ask some questions to the ChatGPT, and I'm trying to do this also because I'm trying to deaccouple with from the AI. So in the current past months, I have been coding with AI, but I feel that I'm getting worse at coding. So I want to improve and understand how the things work. So let's get started. Let me open ChatGPT. So sorry. I ask ChatGPT what I want to do, and my English is very basic, and my grammar also. So I ask the ChatGPT what is the step by step that I need to do for me to do this project, and also ask her to correct my sentence. So I want to build something like VS Code that is the interpreter. I think what I'm imagining is more like a code interpreter, something that reads the code as it's been writing and helps understand. I want to understand programming at deeper level. For example, I know that int is a data type for whole numbers, but I want to know how the computer interprets this, how it's stored in memory, how it is converting to binary, and why it works like that. I also want to learn about loops for while. Hash table, matrix, binary trees. I know the very basic from binary trees and that kind of stuff. I know for and I know while, but what I mean with this sentence is that I know how to do the for and the while for each. But if I get an interview and the uh, interviewer asks me to do some kind of specific logic, like do this in X time, in X minute, I will struggle. So I want to know more about this. Basically, I want to understand how things work under the hood, so it becomes easier to reason about problems. I want to be able to look at problem and think this should be done like this because of X and Y, or we need to do this. But memory usage is a concern, so we need to be careful with how much we use. So I want to build something like a syntax convert, something that reads the code and translates it for the computer. I know I need to learn about data structure, memory, and the fundamentals, the whole thing, to become a better programmer, one who doesn't rely on AI to code. Can you give me a step-by-step path, but without code? I just need the directions for now. Step-by-step guide to become to the programmer you want to be. Here's a clear road map divided into stages. Each step build your understanding from the ground up. Phase 1, computer fundamentals, how computer works. Go understand how code turns into machine instructions and how the machine runs them. Learn how memory works, RAM, CPU, registers, memory hierarchy, stack versus heap. So one thing that I need to be clear with you guys is that I have been in the university. I studied for about 2 years, but I dropped the college. So I know the very basics in my university. You know how to code, but not how the code works, if that makes sense. Like how that is stored in the RAM, because uh, my degree is like software engineer, so they don't really explain how the things work. Like they don't explain like by how the int variable is stored in the memory, like in binary codes. So I want to know that. Understand binary, how text, number, and data are stored using ones and zeros. Get into number system, binary, hexadecimal, decimal, conversation, and meanings. Learn how processor executes instruction, fetch, decode, execution cycle. Understands compilers and interpreters, what they do, how they work, and why languages need them. Phase 2, programming logic and data structure. Go learn how to think and organize code like a computer does. Master control structure, if else switch, for while to while. Understand memory cost of each structure, loops versus recursion, big structure versus small. Dive into data structure, arrays and lists, stack and queues, hash tables, linked lists, trees, binary, balance, heaps, grabs, and matrix. Phase 3, algorithm, efficiently and make decisions based on memory and performance. Big L notation, so I know very basic about big L notation. Learn to evaluate the costs of operation, time and space. Base algorithms, sorting, searching, traversal, advanced topics, dynamic programming, greedy algorithms, backtracking, memory management, know when something is costly, RAM CPU and how to optimize. Phase 4, language internals and interpreters, learn how programming language work under the hood, how language parse syntax, tokenizing, parsing, syntax trees, AST, how interpreters work, read code, understand structure, execute logic, how compilers work, translate code into machine language or bytecode, write a mini language not to use but to understand how everything translates to instructions. Phase 5, build your own interpreter tool. Go build a tool you imagine, a syntax reader that translates code for learning. Design your own syntax rule, create a tokenizer and parser, build an abstract syntax tree, create logic that translate AST into output like pseudocodes, binary or simplified explanations. So my roadmap that I was wanting to do is why I wa- why I was trying to build the interpreter. I will learn the uh, algorithms and problems solving, but the GPT recommends that I do firstly the algorithm and then build the interpreter. So probably I'm going to do this. Phase 6, systems programming and operation systems, optional but powerful, will become the kind of dev who understand how system really run, operation system based, process management, memory allocation, file systems, how program running the OS threads, multitasking, memory mapping, assembly language, just enough to understand low level operations. That's pretty good. Final notes. You're already thinking like a systems programmer. That's powerful. Most devs just learn to use code. You're choosing to understand deeply, and that gives you a huge advance. Thank you, Jolie. You don't need to do all this at once. Focus one phase per month. If you can, masterly comes with time and practice. If you want, I can help you create 12 months plan based on these steps. Let me know what want to go deeper on of this phase right now. So the first thing I'm going to do is learn how to use the Nelvin. So let's go, and I will use the Notion to take notes. So if you see me typing and don't see nothing on the screen, it's because I'm doing notations. Beggy with two N's. Beggy. Beggy. in the beginning, be that's correct. So pop. So let's do this. Now, or better, let's do this. I think it's like this. Documents, project, new folder. Let's do this in the correct way. CD, documents, projects. Mens. No, no, no. 6. How do I create a new table? I don't know. F6. Go. Yes. Dutch. The dishes. So I think it's like this, and then codes,
Nope.
beautiful. So let's install the quick start first, and then use git code, git clone. I don't remember git clone. HP.
Hey YouTube, I'm TJ DeVries and I'm one of the core maintainers of NeoVim. What you just saw was we took a completely fresh installation of NeoVim, and with one command, we were able to pull down a Git repo that sets up NeoVim for you, that installs a package manager, an LSP, a way to configure and install your LSPs, tree sitter, and fuzzy finder, along with a lot more. But my favorite part about the Kickstart project is not just this one step getting started, but as you're gonna see in this video, we explain every single aspect of your config so that you can actually start your own journey in NeoVim instead of just copy pasting something blindly and fumbling about in pain and agony. Hopefully Kickstart can get you started on your own NeoVim journey quickly, effectively, and most importantly, have a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and do it, guys. And most vital piece of configuration inside of Kickstart is this wonderful and beautiful ASCII art before you. This reminds you not only to use a computer when you're using NeoVim, but also that you should start with Tutor and navigate with HJKL. And also, of course, you can just throw that mouse away. We're gonna get to some keyboard-driven development right now. You're probably wondering, what makes Kickstart different from other projects in the ecosystem?
Kickstart Neo Dutch and Vim. It's not a distribution. Kickstart.NeoVim is a starting point for your own configuration. The goal is that you can read every line of code, top to bottom, understand what your configuration is doing, and modify it to suit your needs. Yes, once you have done that, you can start exploring, configuring, and tinkering to make NeoVim your own. That might mean leaving Kickstart just the way it is for a while, or immediately breaking into modular pieces. It's up to you. If you don't know anything about Lua, that it's my case. I have seen the syntax of Lua, but I don't know a thing about it. I recommend taking some time to a guide. One possible example, which will only take 10 to 15 minutes, it's learn X in Y minutes. Uh, hmm, yeah, let's take a look. So my main language is PHP. Just so you guys know, I have done some code in Java. So I'm a backend developer. I have done some work in front end, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I know a little bit of Next.js and React. I know a thing at the JavaScript, and that's it. So while if that's new. So what is for? It's not equals, but what it is. Okay, the fiber return new. This is not an error. The full equal new instead of new or define. Bool value, functions, function fee, resum n, if n, true, then return one, and So it's they don't have the indentation. I mean, it has ident. By the way, I'm from Brazil. Yeah, it's indentation. They have indentation, but they don't have the markers. The delimitation. It's the correct word, I think. So when I need, I'm going back to this. So after understanding a bit more about Lua, you can use help Lua guide reference for how Neo integrates Lua, help Lua guide, blah blah.
Stuff.
Okay.
The primary difference is that Kickstart is not a distribution. And when I say distribution, I mean sort of a big bundle of plugins that adds things on top of that to help you either manage those or sort of abstract away some of the configuration. Kickstart is instead a starting point, or effectively a template for the kind of things that you're going to do once you're making your configuration your own. The primary goal of Kickstart is that we have one file, and currently it has less than 300 lines of code and about 400 lines of documentation, that tells you each and every step along the way, from basic configuration to installing plugins to advanced scripting and even starting to make some of the plugins your own. We're going to work through that together today. But before we do, I do want to mention that if you don't know anything about Lua, you should probably pause the video right now and check out something like Learn X and Y Minutes and learn a little bit about Lua. And once you've done that, you might also want to peruse the Help Lua guide, which has a lot of really useful information about where Lua and NeoVim meet. But after that, let's go ahead and get started. If you didn't know what I meant when I said something like Help Lua guide, then you definitely want to do the next step, which is you want to run tutor inside NeoVim. When I say run inside NeoVim, what I mean is you first press escape to make sure you're in normal mode. You press colon. Notice now we're in command mode. We type out tutor and press enter. When you do this, you will enter the...
So we need to install the NeoVim first. Let's try again.
And piece of information that...
I don't have NVim, so I need to install NVim. Starting point for new view in that small single file, not a new installation, blah blah. Basic, click 2, Node C installation recipe for additional Windows. New means configuration located under the following path. Linux. Recommend step this repo so that you have your own copy that you can modify and install by cloning the form. If you follow the recommended step above, replacing WinLui with your GitHub username in the comments below. Your GitHub username. install recipes for additional Windows and Linux specific nodes, quick install snippet, install kickstart, backup your previous configuration if any exists. In my case, none. NeoVim configuration are located under the following path depending. Let me go here, cd fork. What is fork? Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So I need to go here and then fork, but I'm not in my account. And out. I need. I think is that the password? Yeah. So I go back here and then here and then fork and create fork. Okay, and then here repositories kickstart and then code copy here reply. Okay guys, should be here. cd else. And okay, it's this. Why can I get the fuck? Ah, it's because of so this need to be where? If I do this and I do this. Okay, so I clone this and then yeah, that don't happen. That's right, baby. That's right. So I just needed to install an Vim first, and then the fork is just for copy, I think. Ooh, beautiful. Installing, installing. Successfully installed it. It's done. It's done. Let me see. So yeah, and then just okay. So let's continue. Let's see the tutor, and then tutor. Welcome to the NeoVim tutorial. NeoVim is a very powerful editor that has many commands, too many to explain in a tutorial such as this. This tutorial is designed to describe enough of the commands that you will be able to easily use NeoVim as an all-purpose editor. It is important to remember that this tutorial is set up to teach by use. That means that you need to do the exercise to learn them properly. If you only read the text, you will soon forget what is most important. For now, make sure that your caps lock is off and press the J key. Okay, my caps lock is off. Press the J key enough times to move the cursor so that lesson 0 completely fills the screen. Let's see. Okay, note lesson 0. Note the commands in this lesson will modify the text, but those change won't be saved. Don't worry about messing things up. Just remember that pressing escape and then U will undo the latest change. Undo it. Where is the word? know a thing. I know a little about the Vim, so I have used them in the servers. So I know some of the keys, but yeah, just really the basic. This tutorial is interactive and there are a few things you should know. Type enter on links like this to open the link and help section, or simply type K on any word that you find in this documentation. You can close this help window with key enter. So if I go right here, type enter on links, K is not doing nothing, and enter. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. This when there is an X sign at the left, you will be required to modify text. Once you have done the change correctly, this X sign at the left will change to a check. I imagine you can already see how Neovim can be. Other times, you will be prompted to run a command. I will explain this later. This help and then enter. Okay. Normal mode, visual modes, insert mode, command line, command line editing, Vim, command argument, option, regular expression. Okay. And yeah, I screwed up. So let's go back and then Vim, then tutor. The Armazen. Stores. And Vim always stores the last command that I use. They like don't get normal like clean this. Okay, let's see. Text with the S and the S, like enter, describes a key to press instead of text to type. I don't know the how to pronounce that. Now move to the next lesson, use the J key to scroll down. Okay. Lesson 1.1, moving the cursor. To move the cursor, press A, J, K, L keys as indicated. Here the H key is at the left and moves left. The L key is the right and moves right. Right. Left, right. J key looks like a down arrow, so move downs, and the K moves up. Okay, okay, okay. H moves left. K moves L, L moves right, right, right. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, you're done. Okay, like this. Okay, move the cursor around the screen until you are comfortable. Hold down the down key J until it repeats. Now you know how to move to the next lesson. Use the down key, move to lesson 1.2. If you are ever unsure about something, you type press S to place you in normal mode. So let me try this. Insert mode. J ask you. Okay. 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 The cursor key should also work, but using HK you will be able to move around much faster once you get used it. Okay, lesson 1.2, exiting Neoville. Note before executing any of the steps below, read the entire lesson. Press the S key to make sure the X or the I think the yeah the or C this I am used to do this. Where I okay, that kids. Kids the press X to delete the character under the cursor. Move the cursor to the line below marker X. So here. Below is not here. Okay. To fix the errors, move the cursor until it is on top of the character to be deleted. Press the X key to delete the unwanted character. Repeat step 2 through 4 until the sentence is correct. Okay, so X down, 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 left, 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 X, X, X. So okay. I'm not putting capital letter because capital letter do things in Vim, also do things in Vim. So it's lower letter. X remove character. Okay, okay. to insert text, move the cursor to the first line below marker X. To make the first line the same as the second, move the cursor on top of the first character after where the text is to be inserted, press I and type in the necessary addition. As each error is fixed, press X to return to normal mode. Repeat step 2 through. Okay. Down. And X, yeah. Press A to append text. Move the cursor to the first line below marker X. It does not matter on what character the cursor is in that line. Press A and type in the necessary addition. As the text has been appended, press Escape to return to normal mode. Move the cursor to the second line marker and then repeat step 2 and 3. Correct. That's so append. It's what is Dutch. Ask down, and then some text maybe I mean it's capital. Yeah, I don't have a difference. X missing. What is the difference between A and I? So if I do this, I, okay, I, what is the translate for append? Switch. Acrescentar. Okay, I don't get it, the difference, but I think it's valid. It's here. Appending. Yeah, I don't get it. Now, when you're editing a file, use to write a file and quit. Write a file and quit. Write a file. So that W it's write. Key is quit. Quit. Or delete. Quit. The cursor is moved using either the arrow keys or the H, J, K, L keys, H left, J down, K up, L right, to start Nelving from the shell prompt type, ending file name, to exit Nelving type as then to trash out changes, or type to save the changes, to delete the character at the cursor type X, to insert or append text type I or A. So I think it's correct for me to put this in capital letter because there it is in capital letter. So capital letter. Uh, Press ESC will place you in normal mode or will cancel an unwanted and partial completer command. Now continue with lesson 2. Okay, lesson 2. Deletion commands. Press S to make sure you are in normal mode. Okay, I am. Move the cursor to the line below marker. Move the cursor to the beginning of a word that needs to be deleted. Type DW to make the word disappear. Disappear word DW. I think it's this. There are DW. Why D opens then? Some words D. W. That don't belong paper, of course. D, W. In this sentence. D, W, delete a word. Repeat style, okay. More deletion commands. Press S to make sure you are in normal mode. Move the cursor to the line below marker X. Move the cursor to the end of the correct line after the first. Okay. Type D. Cipher, I think, to delete the end of the line. D. Cipher. D. To delete. Cursor. To delete the rest in. To delete everything after the cursor in the line. Operators and motions. Many commands that change text are made from an operator and a motion. The format for a delete command with the delete operations is as follows. The motion, where D is the delete operation. Motion is what the operation will operate on listed below. Short list of motion W until the start of the next word, excluding its first character, E to the end of the current word, including the last character, to the end of the line, including the last character. Thus, typing will delete from the cursor to the end of the word. So DW includes the space, DW, yeah, and DE is just the word. Okay. I don't know how to copy. And I don't know how to paste. I don't know how to copy. Fuck, it's way too visual. So until the start of the next word, excluding its first character. Delete. Everything. Until the start of the next word. Using a count for a motion, typing a number before a motion, repeat it that many times. Move the cursor to the start of the line below. Type 2W to move the cursor 2 words forward. Type 3E to move the cursor to the end of the third word. Type 0 to move the start of the line. Type 2W, start of the 2 word forward. 3E, third word forward. 3E, the ends. So with yes, 0, 2, 0, CW, C, okay, okay. 2W, 2. Yeah. 0 to the bit. To the start of the line. Okay. Typing a number with an operator repeats it that many times. In the combination of the delete operator and motion mentioned above, you insert a count before the motion to delete more. The number motion. Move the cursor to the first uppercase word in the line marked. Okay, first of the uppercase. Type D to delete 2 words to delete the 2 uppercase words. So the 2 words. I need to move first, or I can do this, the 2 words. Undo. The 2 words. The 2 words. The 2 words. The 2 words. This line of words is up. Undo, 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 undo. Undo, 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 undo. clean it up. So the two words, the fuck, the two words, the two words, the two words, the two words. Do. Type to delete the two uppercase words. Repeat step 1 and 2 with a different count to delete the consecutive uppercase. The one words. So if I want to, I could 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the 9 words. Doesn't work like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How does this count? How is this count? Move the cursor to the first uppercase word in the line. Two uppercase words, so ABC and DE. If I type to DW, yeah, D2W. So element must stay D2W. So why this doesn't work? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. D 6 O B 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I don't. D5 element 3, 4. D3 words. I did 2 words. Did 3 words. So if I put the 10 words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. D2 words. D2 words. D2 words. D2 words. D1 word. Okay. Type DD to delete the whole line. Just a second. I write about that. D2. this in a capital letter. They only search for capital letters, and if I put in lower letters, they just delete the next word if I put like two. I think it's this. Fuck. Okay. Delete. Delete. Under DD to delete a whole line. Due to the frequency of whole line deletion, the design of V decided it would be easier to simply type two Ds to delete the line. Move the cursor to the second line in the phrase below. Type DD to delete the line. Now move the fourth line. Type 2DD to delete two lines. Then press U twice to undo all three lines. Okay. Fuck. D to W. D to W. Left, 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 left. No, right. D to W. D1. D to W. D1 up. Down. So here, DD, and here, 2DD, and then U. Okay. How do I hold line put numbers in front of it to specify how many letters. Move the cursor now and place it on the first error. Here. Type X to delete the first unwanted character. Okay. Now type U to undo the last command executed. This time fix all the errors on the line using the X command. Okay, X. X. Now type a capital U to return the line to fuck x x x x. To return state. Now type U a few times to undo the U and preceding commands. U. Okay. You can undo U. Type U a few times to undo the U and preceding commands. Now type CR Control R capital R a few times to redo the commands. Control R. Control R. It's redo. And then U undo. Redo and undo, it's like Control Z and Control Shift Z. Okay. Okay. Control plus R. Control. Redo commands. These are very useful commands. Now move on to the lesson to summary. Okay. To delete from the cursor up to the next word, type D. W. To delete from the cursor to the end of the line, type D. Cipher. To delete whole line, type DD. To repeat a motion pretended with a number to W. The format for a change command is operator number motion, where operator is what to do, such as D for delete. Okay. Number is an optional count to repeat the motion. Motion moves over the next to operator and such W to the end of the line. Zero start and okay. To move to the start of the line, 0 to undo previous action, type U. To undo all the changes on a line, type to undo the undos, type okay. Let's do like this. to undo all the changes. To undo all the changes on a line to undo the undoes type are okay. So I will end the video from here. Tomorrow I do a little bit more. I'm just going to So that's it for today. I am going to take a shower now.